Hello race fans, I'm James Dimmitt with Dimmitt Race Videos, coming to you tonight from the Grundy County Speedway Awards Banquet with this special championship edition of The Pit Stop. Race fans, this gentleman is no stranger to us at the Grundy County Speedway. He picked up his 8th late model championship this season, matching the number on your car. Congratulations, Fast Eddie Hoffman.
Thanks. Just I hope that doesn't mean I have to quit since I matched the number, or I got to change my number.
No, keep the same number, but make some room in the trophy case maybe for another one.
Keep trying, okay?
Yeah,
we'll
absolutely.
keep trying.
Don't give up. This season you had, according to my statistics, 23 top 5 finishes, and you also won the Welch Memorial. What challenges did you face this season?
My biggest challenge was brake issues. And it's been like 7 years. I don't think I've had 10 years of a brake issue at all. And just beginning of the year we had them on and off, and then came back at the end of the year, and finally after the season was over, changed just about everything. We went up to the Dells just to race and make sure everything was okay, and I think it is. So, yeah, it was discouraging because a couple of the bigger races is when they really popped up that you get so many laps on it. And then one was a caliper issue and something else. I don't know, just gremlins in the brake system.
Beginning of the season, you started out at the top. You had a little bit of a challenge there from Jim Weber, and then Weber had some issues. You also were being challenged by James Lynch, who's a newcomer to the Grundy scene, and then also in the end here by James Gregate. How did you feel about those guys challenging for you?
Feels good. You want to be challenged. You want to have some motivation, and a couple of those guys did at different times. It was sort of a weird year that way, where guys had spurts for a few weeks that they just found some speed and were running good, and probably had some good starts and starting positions, and that line moved. You know how it is. You're up there watching, if you're in the right line, it makes a big difference. So
when it comes to the choose cone, who makes that final decision? You?
Yeah, it is. I do rely quite a bit on spotters, and I can sort of guess where I think guys are going in front of me. As long as it's not 7-8 guys, I can pretty much guess, and then I just sort of know ahead of time. And if they throw me a curve, then I just have to react to that. So a lot depends on how your car is, and we had a really good car one night, and I went to the outside, and it just didn't work out, if you remember right, that night. So you got to be careful.
Yeah. Speaking of the outside, I did see several races, though, where you made that outside lane work.
Yeah, you can for a short time, and, as long as you get at least a little respect on the inside, then you can. The outside's definitely slower, so if a guy can make it work on the outside, he's doing something right. So, I always give people room on the outside. If they can make it work, then go.
What would you contribute your success to this season? What factors?
Well, he didn't make it tonight, and it's a little bit of a unknown or somewhat of a secret, but Andrew Morrissey. So we've had the same chassis for 4 or 5 years now, maybe 6 or 7 years, and it's served us real well for most of those years. But made a switch this year, and the car was pretty good out of the box, and real good through the middle. And then we had those issues, but I was happy with the car. If the car doesn't turn, then you're just not going to go. It's 80% turn in the corner. You got to have some engine. You got to have some driver. You got to have some luck. But the car's got to turn.
Who would you like to thank as far as your crew and sponsors?
I've had the same crew for several years now. Some of them 20-something years. So Larry Landrum, Advanced Generator, he sponsors and works on the car. Just never misses a race. Mark and Diane work on the car. Come during the week. They never miss a race. They miss a banquet now and then, but they don't miss a race. Chris and JJ started helping 3-4 years ago, and they're there every week. And my kid is there every week and helping. And Feast Oil's been there as long as the track's been there, I think. So you can't beat a sponsor like Feast Oil, and they're just every year they've been with us, and without them, it just makes it really hard.
Have you made any decisions as far as plans for next year?
Not really, other than, we have the cars, we have the stuff, we're going to go through it, and we're going to get ready for another season, whatever that season looks like.
Well, Eddie, congratulations once again on a championship. You have really set the bar pretty high for those who are coming up in the ranks, but you definitely are a true champion of Grundy County Speedway. In fact, some people are calling you King Edward VIII.
King Edward VIII. We'll go with that for now. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Eddie.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Race fans, I'm here with the 2023 Grundy County Speedway Street Stock Champion, Matt Chester. Matt, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, this is not your first championship. It's actually your second one. You won the Pure Stock Championship back in 2019. This is your first Street Stock Championship.
Yeah, first Street Stock Championship. Pure Stock won a couple years ago. So.
And then last year you were in, was it last year or the previous year? You were driving a late model for a while.
Yeah, the past 2 years I was running late model, 2021 and 2022. We got Rookie of the Year in 21. So.
Okay. The only class you haven't driven in so far would be the Hobby Stock and the Sportsman. You going to try either one of those?
Yeah, I think our plan moving forward is going to be a Sportsman car. We don't know when, but that's moving forward, yeah.
Oh, very cool. Now, looking at my notes from this season, you had 4 fast qualifiers, 32 top 5 finishes. I mean, that's pretty amazing to me. And then 10 feature wins. And then you also had the 2023 Illinois State Championship. So you had a very successful season.
Yeah, I would say so. The top 5s are, I'm really proud of that. We never fell lower than 5th. Even the night that we didn't finish, we had such a low car count where it still kept the top 5 streak. Like every race we were in top 5. But yeah, just really proud of the season and the guys behind me. So,
what made you decide to move from the late models into the street stock division?
Well, even when I was going into the late models, I always told myself I would come back to the street stocks. I felt like I had unfinished business there. I kind of moved on prematurely. Finances and just time wasn't really right to run late model this past year, and Gilmore offered me to run the street stock again. So, heck, I'm still racing every weekend, so I was happy with it, and I'm just happy how we did.
Did you have any challenges or hurdles that you had to kind of overcome this season on your way to the championship?
Maybe not on the track, but in the garage we faced a lot of issues. We went through like 3 transes, a couple rear ends. We had nights where just the numbers for scaling the car just were in left field, and we were upset with a lot of stuff. But at the track, we never had any problems, which is something I've never actually had, you know. But yeah, it's just mostly in the garage, fighting it all year, and glad it stayed fast.
Now, on the nights when you had fast qualifier, you had to come from the back of the pack to get up front. It seemed like you had a car that could do that very well.
Yeah, the pack racing was kind of very fun for me. I love the cone idea, and whenever we got the cone, I felt like we always came out on top with the cone this year. But whether we were winning a feature and had to start behind the invert or setting quick time and starting back by the invert, I always had to deal with traffic, and most of the time you just got to be patient. A lot of the guys towards the front will burn their tires off and just come to you. Like, you don't even have to do any work, they'll just come to you. So it's a blessing and a curse. You get a couple donuts on the car, but nothing to complain about.
Cameron Preisler was challenging you there for a little while. How'd you feel about that?
Well, he's a good buddy of mine, so it's really good when your competition's one of your best friends. I will say that his quick times were what kept him in the hunt and kept me on edge. That kid could be that fast, just showing up, unloading, and going to set quick time over me. It always kept me on my feet. I couldn't relax out there because he was racing, you know.
Is there anybody you want to thank or your sponsors you want to mention?
Oh yeah, Comfort First Heating and Cooling, always. I have my back past 3 years now. We've had a good relationship. Sontag Speed Supplies down in Crest Hill, MTM Fabrication, Signs by Tomorrow in Plainfield. Those are my sponsors that I think, but my crew of guys, Corey, Connor, Elijah, Ryan Dawson, they put in the time in the pits for me every week, and then Gilmore's the car owner, and me and him work on that thing every night. And thank you guys.
What about your plans for next season? Have you settled on those yet?
No, I think next year we're going to actually sit out. I'll be there every Friday, supporting somebody, pit crewing for somebody. But as for driving, I don't see it happening next year. I think we're going to take a year off.
Take a year off, kind of regroup, and then come back in the 2025 season?
That's the plan. Hopefully sportsman car in the works for 2025. If not, I still have my late model laying around. We're going to do something. We're going to move forward, though. We're jumping up back in the top classes.
All right, well, once again, Congratulations on your championship this year. Hope you have an enjoyable night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Race fans, my next victim or interviewee is your 2023 Sportsman Champion, Kenny Benson. Kenny, congratulations.
Thank you.
First track championship?
Yeah, this is my first track championship ever since I started racing. It's been a long grind.
When did you start racing?
I started out in street stocks, so I've been racing for about a good 10 years. So, in street stocks didn't go the best, and I moved up to Mid-American. Well, actually, Sportsman now. They're called Sportsman. But so yeah, I moved up to Sportsman, and I liked the more power in those. It was a lot of fun, so I stuck with that over the years.
This season you had, according to my records, 5 fast qualifiers, 26 top 5 finishes, 6 feature wins during the season, and then you had the fall classic or whatever, fall harvest win. So how did it feel getting back in the car?
Yeah, it felt amazing getting back in the car. You know, it's always fun getting back in the car after you've been off for so long. Came back in it, and everything just went our way this year, and it was an amazing season, the best we've ever had that we put together, and the car was a rocket every week, and unless we got hit and the toe got knocked off. So other than that, the car was on point every week, ready to win.
Kevin Murphy, a previous champion, he was right up there with you, giving you some competition during the season.
Yeah,
points wise.
Yeah, I at the end of the year, I thought for sure, I was worried after losing the point lead going into the last night. My high adrenaline was running at the most, so I thought one of them guys were gonna snag it over me, but I prevailed.
A lot of times you were like starting towards the back of the pack because either a fast qualifier or you had won the feature previous night of racing, and you really had, like you said, you had a rocket for a car, and you really knew how to maneuver that.
Yeah, I don't ever mind starting in the back, outside, inside. It don't bother me. I'm used to it, so I just put in the work and try to make sure I don't spin anybody out, and just move forward and just get to the front and see if we can get there to win the race.
Now, some people might describe your style as a little bit aggressive. How would you describe it?
I just push the car in as hard as I can in the corner. If my rear end ain't breaking loose, then I'm just gonna send it. So as long as it's sticking, and gripping, I'm just ripping.
Yeah, there you go. Sticking, gripping, ripping.
Yes, sir.
What would you point to as maybe one of the factors to your success this season?
Just getting top 3 finishes every week, and just making sure I stay out of harm's way, and just completing top 3s every week, and just building up points week by week, and just make sure that I don't fall to the back and stay up to the front, and just keep taking each week by each week, and just keep moving forward.
What kind of hurdles or obstacles did you have to face during the season? Anything?
Cinco got really fast at the end of the year, so he was actually the guy to beat towards the end of the year. So that was probably, he was up there, and Murphy was doing pretty good also. He had a couple races where he held me off for the win. So them 2 guys always give me a run for my money.
Who would you like to thank as far as your crew?
I'd like to thank Jeff Olson for spotting me this year, all the help, and Hoover, and my grandpa, and my crew, Andy, Nick, everybody that helped me with the race car, and my dad, everybody that was there to support me, my family.
How about sponsors?
Sponsors, yeah, I'd like to thank Hands of Hope, Illinois, and Echo Lanes.
What are your plans for next season?
Next season, I'm not quite sure yet. I'd love to hop in a late model and go contend with all the bigger guys and see what happens, and go to maybe some different tracks. And
well, once again, congratulations on your championship. Sorry about your hand there, man. Your injury. Right. Hopefully that's going to heal up before you get back in the car. I'm here now with Zack Lear, your pure stock champion at the Grundy County Speedway for 2023. Zack, congratulations on your championship.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Now, according to my statistics, you had 25 top 5 finishes, 4 feature wins.
Yeah, I had a really good season. This was the first season that I had multiple feature wins.
What kind of challenges did you face this season?
About 3-4 nights into the season, we had a double feature night, which really good points night if you get it right, and I ended up wrecking my car in the first feature, and my brother Gavin let me drive his car for the second feature, and I ended up winning it, so that really saved me in the points.
Were you surprised that you won using his car?
Yeah, especially because I had to start dead last, but Yeah, by the end of it, because there was cars that wrecked in the first feature, and then there was, people breaking out. I was able to pick them off and get the win.
Once again, the pure stock division just proved to be really competitive. You and Danielle Dobchek were kind of trading first place throughout the season. Towards the end there, Christy Odom was coming on. Did you feel any kind of pressure as you were looking at the standings?
Oh, yeah, I would do the points on my phone after every single night, just worrying about the points every night. But, it was within 10, 15 points for the whole season up until the last couple of weeks where she had some car troubles and I was able to get a couple more wins.
What would you consider to be one of the factors that led to your success?
Definitely my dad. He helps with the car, and if I got something that I don't like with the car, if it's not handling right, he knows what to do to help with that. The car just gets faster the more we work on it.
Let me ask you real quick, who would you like to thank? Who were some of your sponsors?
I want to thank Night Owl Racing Team, Comfort Max Heating and Cooling, J&J Beating, J&K Treasures, and 93 Media.
Any plans for next year? Have you figured that out yet?
I have not. I'll still be back in the same car, whether it's full-time, part-time, I'm not sure yet.
All right. Well, congratulations again on your success. First track championship. That's pretty cool.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks. So this year we have a father and son team who claimed championships. I'm here with Jerry Legner. Jerry, you claimed the Hobby Stock Championship, a new division for Grundy County this year. Congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, new division they started. They noticed they've been catching on in other areas of the country, getting really good car counts. A little slow to start this year. It can only grow from here, I believe.
What made you decide to go from, I know you raced in the pure stocks in the past, you've probably raced all kinds of divisions, but what made you decide to go for the hobby stock?
Just something new, something different. I've kind of always been a rear-wheel drive V8 guy and wanted to get back into it. The other classes at the track are a little out of the budget right now, and I see this as a perfect opportunity to get back kind of in my comfort zone a little bit.
And you guys didn't also race every night, so you had like off a few nights here and there, and you could, kind of work on the car, and like you said, a budget issue that kind of all played into it.
Right, yeah. I was fine running every other week, every third week. Yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. And then when I didn't race, I was there with the boys, helping them with their cars.
We had some of the drivers from the Special Olympics, the law enforcement 5-0 for Special Olympics, joining that class this season. What'd you think about that?
It was good. It gave us some cars out there, gave some guys experience, more chances to race. I don't know if they race more than once or twice a year with them cars, so it gave them an opportunity to bring them cars out a lot more often.
I think you also raced at a few other tracks this season in the Hobby Stock or Crown Vic division.
Yeah, I ran at, I went to Plymouth in Indiana. I went to South Bend. I ran a couple times at Rockford. I ran a couple times at Kankakee, and then I made every show at Grundy. So I was a little bit all over the place this season.
And I think you had perfect attendance at Grundy in the Hobby Stocks.
Yeah, I believe so. I think I was the only one. I know I talked to some other guys, and with the work schedule, because I think every other competitor just about was a police officer, and I know they worked some crazy hours, so they made it when they could.
How cool is it to win a championship the same season as your son Zach?
It is. It's very cool. I mean, he's been trying for a while. I've been racing for a long time, and this is the first for both of us. So it is. It's really cool. It's really special.
Whose trophy gets the best display spot in the shop? Yours or his?
He's probably gonna put his in his room, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with mine yet. We'll figure it out when we get him home.
Let me ask you about the hobby stock. Are you hopeful for that division to grow?
I think it will. Yeah, I am hopeful that it'll grow. I know a couple guys building other cars. I'm in the process of putting a second car together to give the boys an option, something else to try and drive. But yeah, I think it'll grow. I believe. Yeah.
Is there anybody you'd like to thank? Sponsors, family members?
I got to thank my wife Kelly for putting up with all this insanity for all these years with me. Thank my boys, Zach, Gavin, Austin. Just the camaraderie between us and kind of me showing them things about cars and that, and watching them learn and progress and know what to look for. I got a couple sponsors. I got Comfort Max Heating and Cooling out of Joliet, J&K Treasures out of Streeter, 93 Media did some promotion stuff for us on Facebook. And my buddy Josh at I-55, he's the one that's helped me out with a lot of parts, tires, and every little bit of help you can get helps.
Have you decided on what you're going to do next year?
I have not decided yet. Me in the same car, obviously. It needs a little work after the last time I had it out. But I'm sure it'll be somewhere, probably Grundy. I might do a little bit of traveling again next year.
And you mentioned your son Austin. Is he kind of chomping at the bit to get behind the wheel of a race car?
A little bit. He likes doing the enduros and jumping in the car once in a while. I don't know. He may come around eventually and say, I want to do this weekly, but for now, he's content doing it once in a while, and he's done really well when he's been behind the wheel.
All right. Thank you very much. And again, congratulations on your championship.
All right. Thank you.
Race fans, I'm here with a young lady who just won her very first championship. She drives in the Midwest Super Cup Series. JoJo Fike, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How does it feel to be called a champion?
Definitely different. I've never had that opportunity before, so this is pretty awesome. This was actually the first season that I ran all year, so I've been racing for about almost 10 years now, and this is the first full season that I've had.
There's not a whole lot of room inside those Super Cups.
No, not at all, but I mean, I'm kind of small, so there's enough room for me in there.
I guess in terms of like your field of vision, because you got your helmet on, you've got a small windshield to look out of. Do you guys use spotters?
Yeah, we do. We use spotters. My dad actually helps me a lot with that. He's my ears and eyes beside me, so it helps a lot.
Seems like those cars, if you just move the wheel a little bit, there's a kind of a bigger reaction to that.
Oh yeah, any small movement, the car reacts a lot to it. So you got to be careful not to overcorrect anything, and if you do, it could be really bad.
You had 16 top 5 finishes at Grundy, 2 feature wins. What can you point to as maybe something that led to your success?
My team. If I didn't have my team, it would not have been possible. I work at Ford, so I'm constantly doing 10-hour shifts. I was working Fridays, having to go from a 10-hour shift straight to the track to get out there. My dad was there, TC was there, had the car unloaded. If it wasn't for them, it wouldn't have been possible.
Did you have any challenges or hurdles that you had to overcome this season?
Definitely the mid-season rule changes got us. We had a brand new motor mill, and we couldn't use that after the first race. So
this season, I know you raced at a few other tracks. What other tracks did you race at?
there was a lot. We went into Wisconsin. We did Slinger, the Dells. We went to Angola and Michigan for the first time. Went to New Paris. We were all over the place.
Yeah, definitely. How did you like Slinger?
I love Slinger. That was so much fun. Slinger and the Dells are probably my top favorite.
Who would you like to thank as far as your crew or your sponsors?
Definitely want to thank my dad. He works his normal shift at work, and then he comes to the shop, and he's constantly working, makes sure everything's together and good for me. TC, he does as much as he can for us. He supplies us with the best things that he can get, and Scott, he helps us in the background, and without them, it wouldn't have been possible.
What are your plans for next year? Have you decided yet?
So my dad actually got me a street stock, so we're going to try and play in the street stock a little bit, but we're going to try and race mini cups too. I think my dad wants to focus on the Wisconsin series more, and we'll play at Grundy a little bit. We're just kind of going to be all over the place, so I'm not sure what our set schedule is, but it's going to be busy.
Sounds like it. Well, congratulations again on your championship. I hope you really enjoy it, because that takes a lot to win a championship.
Oh yeah, I'm still in disbelief about it. It hasn't clicked yet. So.
Well, tonight you're going to get a trophy that says that you're the champion, so congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, JoJo.
Well, that wraps up the 2023 Grundy County Speedway Awards Banquets. Don't forget, 2024 is going to be even better. So we'll see you at the Grundy County Speedway, located in Morris, Illinois.